Much of the data sent to a CGI is composed of character strings: name, email, address, comments, and so on. The PHP language has many functions for manipulating these strings. See https://www.php.net/manual/en/book.strings.php. In this lesson, we explore some of the most immediately useful functions. Also, we see how to access and format the current date and time. There are around 100 string handling functions in PHP, but here we'll be looking at the ones that will be most useful to us in the short term, functions that are immediately useful. One of the tasks we'll be working with down the road is to create file names in an organized way. For example, for each trip we put together, I want to set aside a dedicated directory or folder. My naming convention for these is a 4-digit year followed by 3 or 4 characters. For example, 2023 I2J to hold pages for our trip to Japan in 2023. I2J being my shorthand for Introduction to Japan. Then, in each trip directory, we'll have a collection of web pages, including a page for each traveler. In terms of organization, I like to have a directory just for holding pictures of the travelers, and usually I name that directory Travelers. So you would see, say, 2023 I2J/Travelers, and also a directory for CGIs, one for photos from the trip, and so on. So here's a possible collection of directories and subdirectories you might see for a particular trip. When we get a new traveler for a trip, then I want to build a web page for that traveler named travelername.shtml, where traveler name will be constructed from the first name followed by the last name, with the further caveat that both first name and last name have an uppercase first letter, lowercase remaining letters, and no embedded spaces, commas, apostrophe, periods, or slashes, and no leading or trailing spaces. Note, I'm aware this does not reflect some national style, such as De La Costa might appear as a family name. But these strings are just for internal use, and they must be consistent, so they must follow these rules. I want to start with the trim function, which removes leading and trailing spaces, as well as tabs, line feeds, carriage returns, null characters, and vertical tabs. It's unlikely your user will enter these characters, but better to be safe than sorry. Trim of some string, and it returns that string with leading and trailing characters removed, that is, the characters we mentioned, spaces, tabs, line feeds, carriage returns, nulls, and vertical tabs. Example, $first equals trim of $_post, bracket, quote, first name, quote, bracket, parent, semicolon. See, in the Japan trip application form of the lecture, and the Wales trip application form of the labs, there's an option for the applicant to submit a picture of himself or herself. This implies a possible file upload, so our form needs to have the method equals post, and our CGI will need to access variables using $_post instead of $_get. And the file to upload needs to be accessed using $_files in the CGI. Next, we have these case-related string handling functions. strtolower (string) returns string with all the characters set to lowercase. Note, strtupper string will return string with all characters in uppercase. Example, $first equals trim of $_post, bracket, quote, first name, quote, bracket, parent, semicolon. So if first name has Mycroft, then $first equals strtolower $first, then $first will now contain Mycroft, all lowercase. Note, I use $first to hold first name as entered, and $last to hold last name as entered. then $F-first and $F-last for first and last names as set up to build file names. ucfirst of string. That returns the string with the first letter set to uppercase. And note lcfirst of string will lowercase the first letter. Example, $F-first equals ucfirst of $F-first. So $F-first now contains Mycroft with the uppercase first letter. Of course, we can use the same functions on last name. So $last equals trim of $_post, bracket, quote, family name, quote, bracket, parent, semicolon. So let's suppose $last contains Holmes, all lowercase. Then $F-last equals string to lower of $last. So $F-last will still contain Holmes, all lowercase. And $F-last equals ucfirst of $F-last. And now it will contain Holmes with an uppercase first character. You can also accomplish this in one statement by nesting the functions. $F-last equals ucfirst of string to lower of $last, or even $F-last equals ucfirst of string to lower of trim of $_post, bracket, quote, family name, quote, bracket, parent, semicolon. But you may prefer to do the separate steps just for clarity's sake. A related function is uswords of string, which returns string with the first letter of each word being uppercased. So, we can display first name and last name in a consistent manner. Now, in order to use first name and last name in constructing a file name, we need to remove any embedded special characters that can cause problems with file-oriented functions. For example, Vanderwater. Need to remove embedded spaces to get Vanderwater as a single string. De Luca. Need to remove the apostrophe, and we also changed the case, you'll notice. Elliot III. Need to remove the comma and space to get Elliot III. And Saint Germain. Need to remove the period and space to get STGERMAIN. We find string replace, str_replace, invaluable. The syntax is str replace of string, comma, replace value, comma, string being processed. That is, examine the string being processed, and everywhere you find the string, the search for string, replace it with the replace value. For example, we remove any periods by finding and replacing them with quote, quote, that is, nothing. So $F-last equals str_replace of quote, dot, quote, comma, quote, quote, comma, $F-last. So whenever there's a period, it's replaced with this null string. This will remove all embedded periods. Obviously, you can use this to work on other characters one might find in names. Also, a slash might be inserted in a name for malicious purposes. You can probably think of other possible uses of this. Note, the first operand can be multiple characters long, as can the second operand. There is an optional fourth operand you can specify. Code a variable name in the fourth position, and the function will put there the number of occurrences that were changed. I don't generally find a use for this feature. Also, this function can take arrays for each of the first three operands, which is beyond the scope of our discussion. The interested student is referred to the documentation, https://www.php.net/manual/en/function.str-replace.php. However, here is a specific example that can prove useful. In processing a string, say a name field, we can delete apostrophes, commas, periods, spaces, and slashes in a single invocation of string replace by building an array consisting of these characters. $chars equals array of parenthesis, double quote, single quote, double quote, comma, double quote, comma, double quote, comma, double quote, period, double quote, comma, double quote, space, double quote, comma, space, double quote, slash, double quote. $; $f_last equals string replace of $chars, comma, quote, quote, comma, $f_last. So, as I just did, watch out for the punctuation for the $chars value. So, quote, apostrophe, quote, comma, space, quote, comma, space, quote, period, quote, comma, space, quote, comma, space, and quote, slash, quote. Actually, the trailing space in the first four values is not necessary, but it seems to help visually. And here's an example of building an array in PHP. Now, when the first value in this function is an array, each item in the array is run against the string being processed. Also, note that str_replace is case sensitive. It looks for a literal match on your first operand. But there is a case insensitive version, str_iReplace, that will change characters found to be the same string with matches on uppercase or lowercase. Now, to create that file name I mentioned earlier, I just need to concatenate the two names and then concatenate a string with a file type extension. For example, $userFile equals, quote, $fFirst, $fLast.shtml, quote. This is for a web page for the person, and $userPic equals, quote, $fFirst, $fLast.jpg for the name of a picture file, assuming we have a JPEG type file. So using our earlier examples, we would see mycrofthomes.shtml and mycrofthomes.jpg, respectively. To process name-valued strings, then, we can code something like this. $chars equals an array, and we've seen all the special characters that we put into it. $first equals trim of $_post of first name. $fFirst is string underscore replace $chars, comma, quote, quote, comma, $first. Then $fFirst is string to lower of $fFirst, and $fFirst is ucfirst of $fFirst. Then $last equals trim of $_post of family name. $fLast equals str_replace $chars, quote, quote, $last. $fLast is string to lower of $fLast, and $fLast is ucfirst of $fLast. Then $userFile equals, quote, $fFirst, $fLast.shtml, quote, and $userPic is, quote, $fFirst, $fLast.jpg, quote. String functions can also be used in many other ways, and we'll explore them as situations arise where they're useful. PHP CGIs also have access to functions that can handle dates and times. As with string functions, there are dozens of clever functions, most of which we'll never have a use for. The starting point is here, https://www.php.net/manual/en/ref.datetime.php. In our current work, it might be useful to report on the date and/or time a request was received. This can be accomplished using the date function, date and in parentheses a format. It returns the current date or time using the specified format. Format is a quoted string specifying how to format the return value. It uses specific letters for the components of date and time values, along with literal characters, usually the space or traditional date-time characters such as colon, slash, and comma. For date-related format code, choose from these. Lowercase d returns the day of month 2 digits with leading zeros. A lowercase j returns the day of month without the leading zeros for days below 10. Uppercase D returns the day of week as 3 characters, MON through SUN, and lowercase l returns the day of week full name, Monday through Sunday. Uppercase F returns the month name, the full month name. lowercase m, the month number with leading zeros, so 1 through 12, and n, lowercase n, the month number without leading zeros. Uppercase M returns the month name, just 3 characters, Jan through DEC, des. Uppercase Y returns the year in 4 digits, and lowercase y returns the year in 2 digits. So, some possible formats and their corresponding return values using March 7th, 2023 as the current date. $today equals date parenthesis, quote, uppercase y dash lowercase m dash lowercase d, quote. And that will return 2023-03-07. On the other hand, if you have your format uppercase F space lowercase j, comma space uppercase y, then you'll see March 7th, comma 2023. If your format is uppercase D period, comma space uppercase F space lowercase j, comma space uppercase y, then the result will be TUE dot comma space March 7th comma space 2023. And if you said your format was lowercase n slash lowercase j slash lowercase y, you would see 3/7/23. For time-related values, the most useful formatting codes are as follows. Lowercase a returns lowercase am or lowercase pm, depending. Uppercase a will return uppercase am or uppercase pm. And these make sense when you're working with lowercase g, which is 12-hour format, no leading zeros. So you can see if it's 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. But if you're working with uppercase g, it's 24-hour format, no leading zeros, and so the am or pm doesn't really matter. Lowercase h is 12-hour format with leading zeros. Uppercase h is 24-hour format with leading zeros. Lowercase I is minutes with leading zeros. Lowercase s is seconds with leading zeros. And uppercase T is an abbreviation for the time zone. Some possible values, assuming it's 10:25:15 p.m. in Denver, not in daylight saving time. So I say $now equals date of, quote, lowercase g colon lowercase I colon lowercase s space lowercase a comma space uppercase T. So $now would contain 10:25:15 space p.m. comma MST for Mountain Standard Time. Or if I have uppercase g colon lowercase I, $now would have 22:25, 24-hour clock, colon minutes. In a richer example, we have $now equals date of, quote, lowercase g colon lowercase I space uppercase a comma space uppercase d dot comma space uppercase f space lowercase j comma uppercase y. And $now contains 10:25 p.m. Tuesday, March 7th, 2023. Note that date time reflects the date time value your server is running with, not the user system. Also note that if you want to use any of the letters that are assigned to roll in the format, you need to escape them, that is, precede them with a backward slash. Thus, you need to know the entire list of letters that might be used in the format operand, so here you are. The complete definition of these characters is found at https://www.php.net/manual/en/datetime.format.php. So you might have something like this: date, parenthesis, quote, uppercase F, space, lowercase j, space, uppercase y, space, now, backslash I, backslash s, space, backslash a, and then lowercase l. So this would give us March 7, 2023 is a Tuesday. Since lowercase I, s, and a are all format characters, we had to escape them. Note that weekday names and month names are only available in English. Let's look at applying this by including a date reference in the page returned to the user. So here's our code as it now stands. I'm going to scroll down to the new stuff, and here we define a date. $today is date of in a format of uppercase Y dash lowercase m dash lowercase d, and a timestamp. $now is date of uppercase H colon lowercase I lowercase s. And then we scroll down to where we build our response page, and we've added an echo for an H2. Welcome, $first. We have received your request to join our trip. And the second echo on $today at $now. Don't need to add date and time to the email subject or message line because the email client does that automatically. So the user might now see this. We've received your request. Welcome, Johnny. We've received your request to join our trip on 2022-01-27 at 18:12:32. And the rest is the same as before. So in this session, we took a look at a number of useful functions for string handling: string to lower, string to upper, ucfirst, lcfirst, uswords, and string replace, str_replace, and string _I replace, which is case insensitive. We examined the date function for formatting the current date and time in a variety of styles. In our next lesson, we'll begin our discussion of file handling using PHP, beginning with creating log files. See you there.